Record. All right, good morning. Welcome to ELDOA and abs. We're laughing because we had some technical difficulties this morning. So if you're having technical difficulties, then we're all in the same boat, and we just keep a good sense of humor. So we're going to do a good cardiovascular warm up, and then we're going to do a fire ab sequence. Follow along the best you can, stay safe. And we're going to finish up with some of the most important ELDOA postures for your posture. So just nice, easy march in place to start. We're going to get right into it. Lift your knees. Arms are swinging in opposition. Notice here the tendency to either lean forward or to lean backward. We want to keep a good gravity line with the shoulders directly on top of the hips. Pull your chin in just slightly as if you're pulling your chin towards the base of your skull. And the goal with that is to lengthen the cervical spine. Nice long neck. Very good. Move those legs even faster. Take some big inhales through your nose, exhale through your mouth. And we'll add some arms. Arms go forward and out. Good. Hands directly in front of the shoulders and directly out. I know, I never know exactly what I'm going to do there. Right, and then reposition your head. Okay, when you're not looking at the camera, your eyes can focus down on the horizon. So the chin is parallel to the floor. Axial elongation means you're lifting up through the spine as if you're pushing the top of your head to the ceiling. We're tall. Taking pressure off the spinal joints already. All right, add that third plane, forward, out, straight up. It's your wake up call. Forward, out, and up. And I want to mention, if you have neck injury, shoulder impingement, then just stick with the forward and out. I'll show the modification. Otherwise, hands go straight over the shoulders. Good. Now we'll take the arms just straight up. And again, reposition your head. Chin slightly in, I know. Lift your knees higher. Let's get into those hip flexors. Don't let me go breathless by myself. I'll count you down. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and just come down to a nice easy march. That's always so I can catch my breath. All right, stand with your legs wide, internally rotate your thighs. You'll see your feet turn in. Bend your knees. We're going to keep a nice low center of gravity. You can go hands on your hips to feel your pelvis move. Posterior tilt, tail feathers down, anterior tilt, tail feathers out. So move through those two positions. This is a really important warm up for our ab work today. We need to make sure the low back is really ready for the flexion we're going to do. And always for this little movement, if you keep your knees a good amount of bend, you'll be able to get more motion out of your pelvis. I'll show you from the side. Posterior tilt, anterior tilt. Right, start slow at first to get your form really nailed down. The chest and head are still, the pelvis is moving. Right, if you have any low back pain, make it a smaller movement. Otherwise, really exaggerate that tailbone down effect to stretch the lower back. We're warming up the lumbar spine. Last 2 here. And on your last one, stay in that posterior tilt. Now today, we're going to take both hands forward, make stop hands, really push forward strongly, and externally rotate at the shoulders. Make sure you didn't lean back. That's a real common mistake here. Stay right over the center of your foot. We're going to flip one palm, pull the elbow back, and push the opposite hand forward. So we're really working through the shoulders here, not allowing the spine to rotate, right? So just feel the distance between the tip of your elbow and your hand and push. Good. Now, as we go over to the other side, keep your head completely still. The head is forward, the pelvis is fixed. We're just reaching for that distance between the hand and the elbow. To make this really good, lift your elbow a little higher than the shoulder joint. And take it over to the other side. That's good. Breathe. And now once you get the arms, imagine you are being pulled by the base of your skull upward towards the ceiling. So the chin is slightly in and you have that length in your neck. And change sides. You can start to work the hand open, really stretching the fascia of the arm. And switch it out. We pretty much want to keep the sternum forward. It might rotate a little, but it's mostly the shoulders. And change sides. Are we even? Do we have one more? That's our last. Very good. I never know what side we started on. Very nice. Okay. Relax your arms. Kind of bend your knees a little bit more. Get that low center of gravity. Find your posterior tilt. Take both arms out to the sides. Hands are higher than the shoulders. Lift your shoulders into your ears. Shrug them up. And drop those shoulder blades down. Okay, just do that one more time for me. Lift your shoulders. Drop them down. If you lost your pelvis, retuck it. Take your torso slowly from side to side. So our weight is even in our legs. The pelvis is always in that tilted under position. And we move the rib cage. Reach out strongly through your hands. Yeah, make this some arm work as well. If you have low back pain, you can go slower. Otherwise, we're gonna heat this up some. We're gonna move faster. And this is to warm up the deep ligaments of the spine. This is not about your ab muscles. We're not in our ab segment yet. I just want to be clear that we're warming up. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take one hand on top of your head, no tension. The other arm dips just behind the leg. Take a side bend here. We'll hold the first one. Push your elbow up. We're working to stretch the side body and the pelvis is still under. Good. And we'll add a more dynamic move. It's a small lift and lower. It's all about the top arm. Push your elbow to the ceiling. Nice. Give me 3 more here. If you're clenching your toes, release those for me. And we'll take it right over to the other side. Back arm is externally rotated. And we just add a little static hold, reaching down through the arm, up with the elbow, and breathing. Right? Every time you breathe, take those ribs, lift them up and slightly out. Dynamic movement. Nothing jerky, nothing big. Last 3, 2, and 1. Okay, last standing warm up. Bring your feet directly under your front pockets. Your feet are going to point forward. We want to tilt the pelvis down. So I'll show you again from the side. Take that curve out of your lower back and point it down. We've been here before. You'll take the arms forward, externally rotate, and slowly lift those arms overhead. Okay, now if you don't have as much range of motion in your shoulders, maybe you're here with your arms, right? But we don't cheat with the body to get the arms vertical, and you can see how I did that. So reach up through the shoulders and point your tail down towards your heels. Okay, you should be getting a nice deep stretch in your back. Take one more breath here. Bring one arm down at a time. And this is our first intentional roll down. So watch the head. You'll pull the chin in, round your chin to your chest. So we have cervical flexion, right? Chin in, chin down. And we're gonna start to roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. So you should feel a rounding in your upper back, mid back, lower back. And we're coming into a forward fold. You're looking through your legs. Bend your knees some and roll up, but with as much intention as you roll down. So stack your spine like blocks. And we want to pull the chin in and unroll the head. Take your arms straight up. I'll face you for this one. Arms and shoulders reach up. Right? Not a place to shove the shoulders down the back. This is ELDOA, so we're going for that reach. Stretching the back. Release one arm at a time. This is round 2 of 3. Pull your chin slightly backwards, chin down, cervical flexion. Begin rounding down. This time you can interlace your hands and flip your palms to the floor. We're gonna hold this for just a moment longer. Can you straighten your knees? Right? Keeping your weight over the center of your foot. Soften your knees, slowly roll yourself up. You'll feel where you're lacking in flexibility. We all have those places. And last one, reach those arms up. Strongly push, tail to the floor. Yes, very good. As if you're separating your last rib and your pelvis. Very good. Reach, reach, reach. Release one arm at a time. Last time, start with the cervical flexion. That's an action we're going to do a lot in our ab work. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms to the floor. Look straight through your legs. Now, if you can easily touch the floor, I want you to tip your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Hi. All right, soften your knees, roll yourself all the way up. Head is last, and I will meet you seated on your mat. I'm just going to adjust my camera. Hi, good morning. There we go. Okay, so I've got a little extra mat here. I have an incision on my hip, so I'm gonna treat myself nice. If you wanna know where to get one of these, let me know, tell me. All right, so have a seat with your feet hip distance apart. Hold on to those knees. We're beginning our ab sequence right here. Use the strength of your arms here. They can help you. It's not cheating. I definitely want you to press your arches down and open your knees some. Okay, so we have a downward push, open knees. That way we're not working the front of the hips as much as we are the abs. You're gonna lean back just a little bit. We have a straight spine. The chin is in. And you wanna think axial elongation. You're lifting, your spine is nice and tall. Now we're gonna start by dropping the pelvis back, just moving the waistband backwards and then tilting it forward. Tilt the pelvis back, waistband pushes back and forward, right? We're mostly gonna stay upright with the shoulders and head. I don't want you to let that head go forward. So we tilt the pelvis back and tilt it forward, okay? Anytime we're doing an abdominal exercise that starts to feel like a little too much on your back, come back to this. Okay, if you're all good there, it's all gravy, right? Well, let's do a couple more. Make sure when you come up that you're not sitting completely upright, okay? That's not where we wanna be. We're lean back slightly and we just tip the pelvis forward as if the belly button is coming up to the knees. Now, stay there, static hold, we're nice and tall. Take one arm forward, externally rotate it, give me a strong push, and do the same thing with the pelvis. Right, just keep your mouth open. There's no specific breath. Just do not hold your breath. Good. Keep going, but try the other arm. Right, no rotation. No rotation in the pelvis, no rotation in the chest. We're staying right on the center of the pelvis. So this is our base. This is our basic move. Okay. Stay up at the top, grow nice and tall. Now, if you're able, you can add both arms, open your knees slightly, and we're gonna roll back a little further than we did before. Think 1/3 of the way down to the floor and find that top position. Now your arms need to strongly push because your lats, your sides are very much a part of your abdominal wrap. They're part of your core. Guys, open your knees just a little bit. There you go. Perfect. And I like an inhale on the way down and an exhale on the way up. But again, the breath may not match exactly. Don't sweat it. Okay. You can always stay at this level, or we're going to roll down 2/3 of the way. Now that should be really sticky. Good. Come on up. Same top position. Curl it back. Make sure you really unroll at the top. Right? We're in flexion and a little extension. Good. Chin is in. That head just travels with you. Now, if that is all good, we're gonna come down all the way. Now, you won't see my head hit the mat because it can't on this little mat, but it would. The chin is in, the head is flat. We're gonna unroll the neck first and lift all the way up to the top. Okay, so work on making this smooth. Head and chest lift as if they're one piece. There you go. Now, once you get that and that feels good, you're strong in this position, then you work to move faster. So we'll go for 5. Knees open. I know those hips want to help. Go 4. Right? And remember these variations that we started with. You can always just roll halfway back, right? You don't need to do the full roll. But that's what we're working towards. Give me one more because I can't count and talk at the same time. But we're going to end on your back. So on your last one, roll all the way down to your back. Knees are bent. Put a hand on your stomach and flatten your back to the floor. So we're going to release those abs real quick, and you can watch if you need to. I want you to take a breath in and push your belly, expand your abdominal wall. Think belly to the sky. That's the inhale, big belly. The exhale, pull your navel to your spine. And the belly tightens, right? Do it again. Inhale, push your belly upward as much as you can, exactly. And exhale, belly to the floor as much as you can. You should feel strength there. Okay, one more time. Inhale, abdominal wall expands. And exhale fully. Abdominal wall contracts. Okay, so that's our release breath between our sets. I'm going to have you cross your right leg over your left. Now, this is not like a figure 4 stretch. You're just going to kind of halfway cross your shin over. It's a casual position. Take your arms out to the sides with your hands higher than your shoulders. Your arms do not get to help on this one. Use your bottom leg to come into a table with the bottom leg. So we're using the bottom leg to push the top leg up. Okay, so just a casual cross. This is not a stretch for your hip. Push your belly button towards the floor. L3 is behind your belly button. We're going to lift to the level of L3. So start to lift your tailbone to the level of L3 and lower it back down. Okay, we're going to go slow because that counts for a whole lot more than a bunch of swinging movements. Okay, this is not a big lift. In fact, if you feel your neck a lot, you're lifting too high. Okay, make sure you breathe. You're not holding your breath. And that bottom knee is doing the work. The bottom knee is lifting the top leg. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now once you've got that, we're going to add on to this. You're going to keep the lift, but add a small movement of the bottom knee towards the opposite shoulder. So it's a little baby lift and a little off center, and then you lower down. Good. So you lift first, go off center, and then you lower. No wild swings here. And remember, the bottom leg is pushing the top leg, right? The bottom leg is driving. Okay, I'm gonna let you go for 3 more. We control the up, we control the down. How's everybody doing with this one? It's little, right? Woo, fire, go to. I did promise the fire today. I gotta deliver. Okay, lower down, and switch the cross. I'm successful when I'm a little less crossed, right? It's not a figure four. So use the bottom leg to come on up, and we're gonna start with just the little pelvic lift. Right, we lift the tailbone to the level of L3. And now it's my bottom leg, my right knee, driving the movement. Okay, now we're really on fire, but we gotta do the other side. So you'll lift and take the bottom knee a little towards the opposite shoulder. Right, it's just a little off center. And you can feel how you are stronger on one side, no question. It's a little lift and a slight cross. Oh yeah. Control the up and control the down. Final 3 here, right? All of the spine is on the floor, just the tail lifts to L3, so control your movement. And one more, put your feet on the floor. 3 belly breaths, we need to let the abs go here. So take your inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, navel to spine, do it hard. All the air comes out of your lungs. Wait until you need to breathe in again, and here we go, big inhale. Exhale fully. Work to push your belly up to the ceiling, right? Don't let your back help you. Inhale. Exhale every last bit of air out. Very good. However you want to get up to sitting, we're going to come up to sitting again. All right. So we're going to just practice that first half of the roll back. We've been here before. So here you are. You've got your knees. You're slightly leaned back. That's our starting position. And just begin to do the posterior and anterior pelvic tilt. Okay, we're just starting from the beginning, working on making that nice and smooth. Push your waistband back, 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 Trisha. There you go. Good. All right. And you can either go one arm or both. Work to keep your wrist over your knees here. Okay, just give me 3 more. Let's go back about 1/3 of the way and unroll at the top. Here's 2. Are we having fun? 1 more, right? Stop at the top. It's a static hold. We have to work the spine dynamically and statically. So lift through the crown of the head. You're going to take your left hand and put it on top of your right shoulder. And I'm still strongly pushing forward here. So you know the range that we're working in because we've already done it plenty, right? This time we're going to add a twist. It's a pure rotation, right? But through that same range of motion. Very good. Careful you don't come up too high on this one. Again, make sure your feet are very connected to the floor. The knees are slightly open. Very good. That straight arm is really going to drive one shoulder across. Really good. Let's do 4 more. And if there's any back pain, come up a little bit more. You have to modify to your strength level, or you can go lower. You can go down to that 2/3 and lift, right? You do you here. All right, come back to the center. We're going to find that static hold at the top. Chin is in. Other arm, you have a nice reaching palm of the hand. We're going to roll that 1/3 of the way, 2/3, however you want to go, and add your rotation. Oh, I know. One side won't. So think of one shoulder going forward and one going straight backwards. It's that much of a rotation. Here's 5. Glue that outer part of your foot onto the floor. Yes, good. Here's 3. I saw you. And 2. And 1. And I'm going to meet you in tabletop, hands and knees. That was your external oblique. We got to get them all, right? So you're on your hands and knees. Let's take 3 rounds of cat-cow. Your cow position is your work to stretch the belly, right? So I'm sending my chest away from my belly button, get a nice stretch, and then round the tailbone. Spine comes up to the sky. There's your cat position. And we'll just do that twice more. Cow is not to dump into your back, it's to extend your abdominal muscles. There you go. And then you round. And give me one more, you extend. Nice stretch, round it out. Find your table and come onto your elbows. We need those elbows directly under the shoulders. You can interlace your hands. And I like to take that bottom pinky and tuck it under. Okay, so walk your knees further back. So we're in this funky, almost plank position, but we're on our knees. Tuck your toes under if you can, right? Flat foot is okay if you can't. And tuck your pelvis under a lot. Think rib to hip connection. Okay, from here, we're gonna start to lift the hips and drop the shoulders down a little bit. And I just want you to stay here. It shouldn't be enough to kill your shoulders. I do want you to push your wrists down in order to separate your shoulders nice and wide. Okay, now see if you can push a little further back. Hips towards the back wall. If your back starts to arch here, that means you've got to round your spine, tuck it under more, and pull the ribs up and in. Okay, we clear on the position. All right, come forward, bringing your shoulders right over your elbows. Tuck your pelvis a lot. Engage your abdominals and lead with the abs. We're coming back into the original spot. Good, take your inhale. Exhale, send you forward. The tail is tucked. This is one of those you could just kind of do it with your arms and legs. I want you to do this with your core here. You're gonna inhale to take your hips back. And exhale to take them forward. If you need a little bonus, you can lift your knees right here. Drop your knees, we'll do it again. Inhale, send your hips back. Exhale, drags you forward. Let's go 3 more. Right? If you're familiar with using your lats at all, right? You're pulling your armpits down towards your hips. Yeah, there you go. Here's 2. Make sure you are breathing here intentionally. Tail is very tucked. I can't stress enough. Give me one more. Inhale it back. And your exhale pulls you forward. Lift your knees. We'll just tap one knee at a time. Knee to floor and lift. Knee to floor and lift. Here's 8. 7. Push down through your forearms. Here's 5. Nice. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower both knees. Come onto your side, directly onto your side. So our knees are bent. You're going to be pushing down through your forearm. I don't really want your elbow directly under your shoulder. That's too big of an angle. It's going to go a little further out. So try that. Okay. So your bottom side, before we go, lift it away from the floor. And we're going to make like a big muscle or a goal post with the top arm. Lift your hips, but imagine you're lifting from your bottom side. Okay, so we come into this side plank and just lower down once for me, just feeling the position, and lift again. Good. Tuck your tailbone a lot. That's our theme. We're going to take the top arm and just close it up and open it. So your goal here is to rotate the rib cage more than the hips. Very nice. Good. Keep that nice lift away from the floor. You've got 3 more. Very good. Exhale as you twist, wringing out the waist. I'm going to take you right over to the other side, and this will be the end of our ab series. So if you hated it, you're almost there. All right. I've heard the term domed armpit, right? If you could take a fist and put it in your armpit there, that helps you to activate the muscles that support your shoulders. Okay, so we have a nice muscle. Now, if you want to straighten a leg here, I'm going to show a more advanced variation here. So I'm going to come up onto my bottom knee and a straight leg. Take your inhale. Exhale, close it up like your shoulder blades are moving away from one another. And then we open. Very good. Do it again. In a perfect world, the pelvis is still, the torso rotates. You got it. 3 more. Maybe you can lift those hips up a little higher. And 2. And 1 more. And open. Have a seat. You can face me on this one. I'm going to take you right into our ELDOA. So if we had any compression on the back as we did our abs, we're going to take that pressure right off the spine. So heels are in line with your seat. I want you to relax your feet for a moment and just find your seated gravity line. Shoulders, hips, head right over, right? We don't want to be leaned back. Relax the belly. We've got to come out of abs world here. When you inhale, the belly easily expands, no effort. When you exhale, belly stays relaxed. Okay? And something happens when you take that kind of breath. When you breathe in through your belly, you will grow a little taller through your spine. When you exhale, maintain the height you found. All right, I'm going to give you another couple of breaths here. Make sure you're even on your sit bones. If you could push your sit bones down into the floor to sit taller, yeah, that's the thought here. Okay, position your head, draw that chin in, take both arms forward, externally rotate. We'll take the arms straight up. Lift your arms with the intention of stretching your back. So we do have to lift the shoulder blades. Okay, once you're there, flex your feet and push your knees to the floor. We've got our 1 minute hold right here. This is meant to be maximum effort here. If you can grow taller, do it already. Go, go, go. Stay with that breath. I know the abs want to help you here. Don't let them. Make the spine do the work. Right? Hands are nice and open. Push your hands up to the ceiling. Knees to the floor. And I want you to go to 100% maximum effort. You're warm, you're ready. Final 10 seconds to go. Can you grow taller? And just a reminder, if those ribs on you like to pop forward, pull those in and grow through your back instead, as if you're sliding up a wall. Here's 5. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release one arm. Release the other arm. Relax your feet, but you stay tall. Very good. I'm going to show you this one from the side. We'll do a modified T8. I know I can see it in my class's eyes. They know what's coming. All right. So heels in line with sit bones. But look, guys, that's not going to do it because we're warm. So we need to walk the feet half the distance to our seat. Okay. This is a tough one for everybody, but it's the best one for stress. We all need that right now. Use your arms to pull yourself up. Okay, now, if I had you sitting against a wall, I would ask you to touch your bottom ribs a little bit backward towards the wall, and that's going to be a more correct position. So yeah, Trisha, go back a little further with your ribs. It'll feel like you're rounding forward a little bit. Yep, that's more straight for you. Go ahead and Libby, drop those shoulders. And somebody needed those cues, right? So begin to press your feet down. We're going to push down to the inner arch of the foot and the heel. Right? So your legs are keeping you here. Your legs have got you. Now, if you let go and it's just super easy for you, walk your feet a little closer. I know, I'm going to push you. All right. Inner arches to the floor. Shins are parallel to the floor. Take those arms straight forward. Right? Push hard. It's going to help you maintain your height. Give me a correction through the chin. We'll take one arm up. This should be difficult. Take the other arm up, reach hard through the shoulders and lift, right? Work your feet into the floor. Very good. T8 is a couple inches below your bra strap. So lift your arms with your intention of stretching that area. Pull your chin in a lot. Okay, now I expect work, a lot of work in the hips. You'll have work in the muscles of your lower back. Where you feel resistance, that's your area where you want to breathe and you want to work. Okay, for me, it's my lower back. Shins parallel to the floor, guys. Knees in. There you go. Lift, 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 lift. Yes, chin is in. Final 10 seconds here. Right? A little sweat going on. Y'all look great. Here's 6. Here's 5. Push your limits. Here's 4, 3, 2. One arm comes down, then the other. Grow a little taller through your spine. And just separate your feet some. And we're going to go back to a gentle rolling and unrolling. All right, we have one more ELDOA and then we're going to do a stretch for the front of the hips. You'll be so glad to know. Okay, sit with your legs crossed. I'll face you for this one today, right? So if your knees do not open easily, or even if they do, you can flex your feet and really dig the outer edge of your foot onto the floor. So that's E version, exactly. Use your arms to help you find your seated height, right? And locate your sit bones, just rock side to side. Imagine there's a beam that runs across the two sit bones, a beam. So that would make you very even on both sides, right? So just to be clear here, take your ribs and chest forward and take your ribs and chest back, and then find the place where you feel that your spine is as flat as it can be, as if you're sitting right up against a wall. Pull your chin in, think chin to the base of the skull. You need a lot of head movement on this one, or a lot of chin retraction on this one. Take your hands to your chest. Now, maintaining the position of your head, we move the hands just right over the head. We're going to pause here for a moment. If I asked you to lengthen your neck up towards the ceiling, that's something you can actually do, right? Push down through your sit bones to go up through your head. Maybe the elbows can go a little further back, but we still need to keep the chin in, right? Keep your form. Take a big inhale. Take your exhale. On your next inhale, the arms lift. And just stay and breathe. Now I've got my fingertips together, but as soon as I have the flexibility to bring my palms together, that's what I want you to do. And no, you don't get to hook your thumbs. So sorry. Glide your shoulder blades up. T6 is a little higher than your bra strap area. This is the really heavy hitter move for forward head posture. Right, so give me that lovely double chin and then make the arms come back to catch up. Good. In your mind, if you can identify where your bottom ribs are on your back, lift those away from your pelvis. Very good, with intention. We'll breathe together. Inhale, you grow taller. Exhale, maintain your height, maybe even reach a little bit more. Do it again. Inhale. Exhale, reach the shoulders up more. Now 2 more breaths. Maybe you can press the knees more to the floor as you go up towards the ceiling with your hands. Good. One more deep breath, big push. And slowly drop those arms. Relax your legs, hands on your knees. Roll those shoulders down and back a few times. And reverse that direction. Come onto your knees. One final stretch for psoas and maybe a little bit of quad. So take one leg forward, and we want the leg comfortably wide so our balance is not so much of an issue. If you have a knee pad or you want to double up your mat, sometimes that's helpful for this one. Big posterior pelvic tilt, point your tailbone towards the floor. And we're going to make this easy today. I want you to lean onto your knee and maybe bring your fingertips or your fist to the ground. Okay. The big deal here is that we want the tail tucked under. L3 behind your belly button, I want you to push that vertebra backwards. So push L3 backwards as you tuck. And it's all right to bend your front knee more into that stretch as long as you stay tucked under. If you've been with me for a while or you want to try, you can take the hand that's the same side as the working leg and push your hand forward. Reach, reach, reach through your shoulder. It's part of the stretch. We're looking for a psoas stretch on the bottom side. Okay, just stay for one more breath. And release. I'll show you this one from the side as I do so that you can see. So we want to make sure we're not working balance because then it would not be a stretch. Posterior tilt. Find a lean if you want to touch the floor just to get your bearings. But L3 right here, right? This, you'll feel a stretch, but we're not stretching the location that we want. So push L3 backwards, just like that. Take that arm forward if you wish and push hard. Still, we have our axial elongation. That gets hard to say at the end of a class. Stay for one more breath. And change sides again. Again, I'm going to face you. To make this a little bit spicier, you can take the back foot and take it out to the side slightly so I'll be able to see your heel peeking out. Come down to your level. Make sure there's no rotation in the spine, not yet. Arm can go forward. Or just stay with your hand on the floor. It's okay. Okay, if we're satisfied that you're sufficiently tucked under, we can add a very small side bend away from the working leg. Tiny, tiny. So this lateral bend is coming from the low spine. It's little bitty. Please protect your back. It's not good on your back. Leave it out. You're doing awesome. Take one more breath and reach. And release. Change sides just once more. Posterior tilt. And for what it's worth, my front foot is facing forward. Okay, if you face it out to the side, you're more tempted to lean. So that back heel is going to peek out. Right? Technically, I'm internally rotating my back thigh. Extend that arm. Right? Your chin is still in, your spine is still in that correct alignment. And we can add a tiny side bend, contralateral away from the working side. Right? I'm allowing my shoulder to lift to stretch that attachment of my latissimus. Beautiful job. Give me one more breath here. And slowly release. And that concludes our class. Thank you so much for joining me. We have 2 more weeks where we do abs and ELDOA. And if you have any questions about what we've done, let me know. Thank you so much.